everyone, I'm here at PAX Prime 2015. I just had a chance to play Warhammer End Times Vermintide from Fat Shark over in Sweden. I'm here with Liam. How's it going, Liam?
Hey man, it's really good to be here and good to meet you guys.
You're my co-op partner. We had some victory, some failure, as is the case in these co-op games. So for folks who haven't heard of Vermintide, what is it?
Warhammer Vermintide is a first-person co-op game. We put a lot of focus into the melee combat of this one, and it's set during the Warhammer Fantasy, during the End Times. So the End Times is like an apocalyptic event in the Warhammer universe. We're trying to show that off in a great co-op game.
And of course, Vermintide, you guys have talked publicly about how it's inspired by Left 4 Dead. Can you talk about how that's represented, why you chose that template for the Warhammer license?
Sure. I mean, in a lot of ways, Left 4 Dead, I think, set the bar for co-op games. They really showed a lot of things, how you can make a great co-op experience, how you can make it so you play with your friends properly. And so we learned a lot from that game. We felt like that formula just hasn't been done a lot since then. So we wanted to take our chances and build something like that. And also, like, looking at us as a company, we've done a lot of melee games in the past. So we felt like we wanted to try a first-person game with melee.
Yeah, and of course, that is a very unique thing. I mean, melee is very simple in the Left 4 Dead franchise. Can you talk about some of the maneuvers and techniques? You have different weapons you can equip on different characters. Can you dig into that system?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things with Warhammer is, like, the different heroes that we have in the game, they don't use the same kind of weapons. A dwarf would never use an elf sword, vice versa, because they all kind of have their own styles and things that they want to use. So we try to do that in the sense that we have about 40 different types of weapons, and we make sure that every hero has their own unique set. Like, a bright wizard has fire staves, and you can do fire magic and a lot of cool stuff with that. Like, you saw a flaming sword earlier on, which is one of my favorite weapons, and the beam staff, which is epic. On the other side, you have, like, the dwarf, which has a shield and an axe combo maybe, or you can use, like, heavier hammers with the Empire Soldier. You've got a bit of everything for the different heroes. And it's really important for us that they can feel distinct, but still be tailored in any kind of playstyle. So regardless of which hero you're playing, you should be able to play them tanky or more like an assassin or whatever you personally want to do.
And one of the unique things about Vermintide, of course, is the loot system, where as you play and as you complete missions successfully, you're going to get loot drops. Can you talk about how that works?
Sure. So what we do is, when you get to the end of a level, if you manage to beat that level, we're going to give you a set of loot dice. And it's just kind of like a fun throwback to the old D&D days where you like tabletop RPGs where you'd decide things with the dice. So you roll those dice, and we're going to show you, these are the items you might get now. Roll the dice, depending on how that goes, it's going to go up, okay, you got this one. Like, you got this rarity of an item right now, and that's what you get. So it's not determined by who kills the most enemies or like how you did in that sense. It's all a little bit of random. But we do have objectives in the missions, like side objectives you can do to give a little bit of a better chance to get that good loot. You can get loot for the different heroes. It doesn't matter which one you're playing. Like, I could be playing the dwarf and you could be getting a weapon for the bright wizard. And that's always because we want you to have something for everyone. You know, it's not an RPG in the sense that you're like leveling hundreds of levels with each character. It's more like, I feel like playing the dwarf right now. It shouldn't be a huge commitment to just swap characters and try something new.
So the enemy you're fighting against in the game is the Skaven. Talk a little bit about how you've characterized this enemy. It's a really unique race, I think, within the Warhammer universe.
The Skaven, we feel, are quite underrepresented. We wanted them to be the star of a game. When you kind of look at similar games like this, there are a lot of zombies, and we felt like we want to do a race that really isn't zombies. You know, something that kind of has a mind of its own and does something a little bit unique. They can go everywhere, and the players can't go everywhere. So that's kind of fun.
Because the whole game takes place in this one, various areas of the same city. Yeah. What different kind of spots and settings can I expect to fight my way through?
Right, yeah, so we set it in Noobstrike, and it's kind of like a famous city in the world. It's been around for a long time. If you played like the old Warhammer Fantasy Battle stuff, there are some adventures there. And it has some iconic locations like the Magnus Tower, which you see in the first level. We also kind of take you up on the city walls. We'll take you into outside the forest. We actually let you go down in the Skaven territory as well, down in their tunnels and like the Under Empire.
Sounds good. Well, Liam, it's definitely one of the best things I've played at PAX so far. Really interesting. When are we going to get to play Vermintide ourselves in the comfort of our own home?
So hopefully sometime before Christmas is when we're aiming to ship. We are publishing the game ourselves, and we really want to make sure that it's done before it comes out. So as soon as we know that we can release at a certain date, we'll announce it for you guys. Until then, when it's done.
Thanks, and good luck on development.